11 Sports and For the Fans welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Sunday evening football coming to you live as we look at the beautiful beach of Jacksonville, Florida. 66 degrees, a little bit chilly here today. 3 hours and 37 minutes separate the two franchises between I-95 South as the Charleston Predators are in town to take on the Jacksonville Kings. Andy Hamilton along with Gerald Giudice. Gerald, playoff implications heavy in this one. Charleston needs it bad.
Yes, they do. Charleston coming off of a big win against the Florida Storm last week, 24-10. Their thing is basically simple. They have to win to have a shot at getting in the playoffs. 5-7 won't cut it. You need to get to 6-6.
For Jacksonville, currently in the playoffs already, they will figure out where they land after this week sorts out. But for Charleston, they got to have a road win in order to finish this thing off. So the Predators coming down, they will wear white this evening. Jacksonville wearing purple with the white numbers. It's Simulation Football League Week 12 action between the Jacksonville Kings and the Charleston Predators. Two high-flying quarterbacks. Christian Christensen leading the way. Jacksonville's played well this season, Gerald, but what do these two teams have to do to get the win today on Sunday?
For Charleston, then they need a better play from the quarterback, TD Drew, who had 3 picks the last game. They can't afford any turnovers in this game. They're going to have to play a solid game to win here. Jacksonville just doing what they're doing. Lead on Jared Willis and Grayson Willis to get the job done.
11 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter. Jacksonville will kick to start this game. They're going to get the ball to open the second half of play. Charleston will receive. Robert Johnson and Jacob Clear are on stats. Cameron Irvine in the truck, and we are underway from Jacksonville, Florida. Collecting the return and bringing it back. Flag down on the field on the opening kickoff, and Gerald will have to check with Ref 62 early here and potentially often. That's how some of these games can get. Let's hear the call. That is going to be clipping on the return team, and already Gerald, Charleston is going to be fighting more of an uphill battle than they anticipated.
That's not the way you want to start off if you're the Charleston Predators with the penalty, forcing you to go back inside your own 20-yard line against a defense that loves to sack the quarterback.
Christian Christensen leads this offense out. The veteran quarterback has played all of his seasons, all 7 of them right here in Jacksonville. They have 7 wins this season, and they will take on this Charleston team led by TD Drew and Keith Swearingen. Drew also played all of his seasons here in Charleston, and Swearingen up the middle for 7 starts us off.
Swearingen gets some of that yardage back off of that penalty there. As I said before, you have 2 of the top 4 sack leaders in the SFL here playing on the defensive line for Jacksonville.
Single back in the backfield is Swearingen again. 2nd and 3. They'll give it to him off the right side with room, and Swearingen has first down yardage out to the 24. Some good blocks coming from the offensive linemen. They have 2 tackles for this Predators team. That's Fred Dukes and Butch Menner. They complement the 2 tight ends, Lyric Da Vinci and Jay Taylor. Receiving threats are Ken McCarro and Buchanan Simons, and you've already met Swearingen, and TD Drew, the quarterback, is now in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the bottom. They have Simons in the slot. They will throw the out route here to Taylor, and he will turn upfield. Excuse me, not Taylor. That is Ken McCarro, who has 5.
And McCarro here, leading receiver for this Charleston Predator offense with 75 catches, also has 89 targets, connected on 84.3% of his passes thrown to him by TD Drew.
McCarro and Simons, 2 really good receivers, and they will need both of them in order to get this going against a good Jacksonville secondary. 2nd and 5, gives Swearingen, and tackled from behind. I thought, Gerald, he was going to break through for a first down. J.R. Lawless had other thoughts.
J.R. Lawless looked like maybe a horse collar tackle right there. Look like he was going to get there and stop them in his tracks for a 3rd and 1. Let's see if Charleston Predators can keep this drive alive with the big first down.
Well, they don't call him JR Law Follower. They call him Lawless, so penalties may not apply. 4 receivers wide, give up the middle. Swearingen, first down yardage and a little bit more out to the 37. Charleston taking their time on this opening drive, and it seems to be working for them.
I love the play calling right now, just giving it to your big back, Keith Swearingen, who's now over 1,000 yards for the season. 24 yards so far, only needed 18 coming in. But I like this because then you can use the play action pass to set up your passing game and give TD Drew a couple extra seconds to throw the football.
4 runs to only 1 pass through the air on this opening drive. They'll go to Swearingen on the ground again. He falls forward for 2, and they're being real patient. And when you're in a when you're in a playoff scenario, Gerald, you need to be patient.
Definitely, you don't want to rush, get up there, make any bad reads, or make a mistake. The SFL, one mistake could cost you a game.
2 receivers on the top. They'll give Swearingen up the middle, and he will fall forward for a yard. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. They're 1 of 1 on 3rd downs, but it was much shorter.
Hey, Jones coming up there, the inside linebacker with the stop. 10 tackles. The 2 pass deflections in their game against Fort Worth. Once again, coming up with a big 3rd down here for Charleston Predators. They need to get a first down here.
4-2 look here out of Jacksonville. 3 receivers wide. Drew going to change the play at the line. Drops to throw. 5-step drop. Deep toss. It's tipped up and incomplete. Succo Lamano was there along with J.R. Lawless to make the play, and that will end this Charleston opening drive.
Succo Lamano had an 86-yard pick 6 in the last game against Fort Worth. Comes up with a big deflection right there and forces punting unit to come on and see if Wally Saddle here can pin them deep their own zone.
So Charleston's opening drive goes about 30 yards, and they will have to punt it away. This Jacksonville Kings defense getting the stop, officially a 9-play, 32-yard drive, and that will leave headway for a Mike St. Green return. And now coming out is Christian Christensen, 7th-year quarterback and a longtime member of these Jacksonville Kings. Took over for E.T. King when he went over to Chicago and has been the leader here in Jacksonville ever since. The back is Jared Willis today, number 24. Grayson Willis, his family member, Mike St. Green, Ken Gossett, and Jack Wall, the receiving threats for this offensive unit. They spread 3 of them wide down to the bottom. Wall on the top. Here is a out route, and the catch is made for 4 yards there by Grayson Willis.
Yeah, Grayson Willis there with the catch. And the big reason that Jared Willis and Christian Christensen are having such a good season are the big guys up front. You have Dave Barr, the guard, and you have the 2 tackles, Ricky Thornton and A.G. Pennypacker, 315-pound tackles there. They can really block the football, block the players for the football to be run.
That run up the middle by Willis goes nowhere. Coming in there to make the play was Jack Hoffman and Jack Brown, these 2 good linebackers. They pair with Dick Baker, Jeff Hollywood, and Joseph Sabolka on the defensive front line, along with Tommy Zanardi, the other outside linebacker. Johnny Bravo, Corey Menner, Josh Reese, Zachary Bates, and Zach Lay are the defensive backs, which round out this Predators team trying to get off the field on 3rd and 6. Christensen pumps once, fires across the middle. Catch made by St. Green. First down to the 45.
Mike St. Green coming in with 34 targets. Big first down for this Jacksonville Kings offense. And as you were talking about Jack Brown earlier, one of the top tacklers in the league, coming in with 113 tackles. Had 11 tackles on the tackle for loss last game. So you have to be careful because the Charleston defense can be ball hawks at times and really cause a lot of problems.
Lots of good defensive backs there that Christensen will have to be careful with. Willis off this right-hand side, finds a little bit of room, is able to pick up 3, and that will make it 2nd and 7. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, you're watching the world's first controlerless esport where strategy and AI instead of thumbs determine outcomes. Teams submit game plans prior to the games, and the results play out live in real time with hundreds of viewers turned players scouts, coaches, and even team owners on the field to create an all-new type of virtual reality. Visit simulationfl.net for more information. Here is the throw on 2nd and 7. Out route caught by Gossett will make it a 3rd and very manageable 2.
Remember there with the tackle. Like you said, it's going to make it a 3rd and a very manageable situation here for Jacksonville. 3rd and 2, basically your whole playbook's at your disposal. I would love to see maybe get the tight end Jack Wall involved here. Maybe even just a swing pass to Jared Willis.
Handoff up the middle to Willis, and he is strung out and dropped in the backfield. Jack Brown, as long with Tommy Zanardi, strung him out, and Zanardi finishes it up at the 47.
Zanardi having a great rookie season, coming in here, 57 tackles, a sack, 7 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, and a pick 6.
4th down offense still on the field. We'll see if they dare to take the snap. They are on the Predators' side of the 50. Christensen going to try and use the hard count. Play clock going down now here to 3 seconds, 2. And Jacksonville will burn the first timeout of the half there. Could not get the Predators to jump.
Great discipline there on the Charleston Predator defense. Not to be drawn offside by Christensen. A heck of a try, but it failed. But now let's see if Howard McCoy can come out here and pin Charleston deep. Again, they had a horrible starting field position their first drive because of a clipping penalty. Let's see where they start here.
4th and 2, so Charleston will take back over. We are now down to 4.5 minutes. Gerald, this clock has been moving quickly between these two teams, both of them putting together longer drives that end on 3rd down, and they have to give the ball back to the other team. Return here for the Predators. Doesn't go very far, only out to the 14. We're all knotted up at 0. Charleston trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Don't go anywhere. It's the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Back here in Jacksonville, Andy Hamilton along with Gerald Giudice for the Charleston Predators and the Jacksonville Kings, representing South Carolina and Jacksonville, Florida proudly. TD Drew, big throw down the middle, Lyric Da Vinci, huge catch, and that is the first spark play of this game, Gerald.
Definitely a big catch to throw it to the tight end. Lyric Da Vinci, TD Drew with a big step back. And I watch a great camera angle, just an open view right there, just laying it in the breadbasket of Lyric Da Vinci. That's the kind of big plays that this Charleston offense needs here if they want to get into the playoffs.
I was going to say, the opening 2 drives for these teams looked, very turkey sandwich with mayo, and then they pull out a lobster roll here to start the second drive for the Predators. Give up the middle. Swearingen bounces off one, but not off the second. In terms of series history, Jacksonville all-time 3-0. The Predators have never beat these Kings.
No, they have not, and this was going all the way back to season 11. They faced them, so it's a long history, these two teams.
The mountain for Charleston to make the playoffs just seems high. Drew going to throw it again, slings, and that time they could not find Da Vinci open across the middle, targeting these linebackers here on this drive. Some good ones in Clay Jones and J.R. Lawless.
Definitely, and I think that's what they really wanted to do here is really hit him with Keith Swearingen early. Maybe the play action pass can open up the center of the field to try to get them. But that time, defense just read it perfectly and converged correctly to bring down a 3rd and 9.
4 receivers wide here on 3rd and 9 from the 36. 3 minutes to go. Drew gonna fire. Catch made by Jay Taylor. A yard shy of the sticks. The tackle made right there by J.R. Lawless. He is active early.
J.R. Lawless with a big tackle right there. I thought that might have been going there for a 1st down. But he stopped him just shy of line of gain. This forces our 2nd punt from Charleston.
Field position game between these two teams here early in the 1st quarter. Mike St. Green, a dangerous return man, will only gain a couple yards. They'll be in the shadow of the board off to the left-hand side of your screen, and the Jacksonville Kings will come back out. And there is a lot to be said about this Kings team. 7 wins this season. Gerald, the 6.5-point favorites here at home.
Now, this is a really, if they have a great offensive game plan, they are like unstoppable with Willis. Almost gaining, it was 99 yards last week, but great combination of talent here on this offensive line and the offense of Jacksonville.
Give up the middle. Willis off of a couple and will be ridden down before being able to get to the stick. Zachary Bates comes up to make the play.
Saw the guard there, Dave Barr, and the tackle, Ricky Thornton, opening up the hole there to get 5 yards for Jared Willis. Coming into this game today, had 17 total touchdowns. He needs some here today to get the win.
3 receivers, top of the screen. Christensen going to throw. Pressure coming. He has to unload it to Willis, the safety valve, and Willis will fall forward for a couple, but he's not going to get as far as he needs to. Jack Hoffman makes it 3rd and 2.
He drug Hoffman there for a couple yards. That play looked like it was going to go for either a loss of 1 and 2 or no gain. Comes up huge with a powerful run here to get the 3rd and very manageable. Short 2 or a long 3.
Single back, offset to the right, twins to the bottom of the screen. Ken Gossett working out of the slot. Willis spread out wide. Christensen dumps down to Jared Willis, and Willis shoves off the would-be tackler for the 1st down.
I thought he made a misread there because he had a guy wide open just past the sticks. But he threw it to Willis, and Willis got him enough yards for the 1st down. Kind of got away with one there, but keeps the clock moving and the drive alive.
Now down under a minute and a half to go here in this 1st quarter. The game flying by here in Jacksonville so far. Christensen, short drop to throw again. Out route is caught, and that will be good for 3 yards. The tight end, Jack Wall, checks into the game with his 1st catch.
A little bit thrown behind him. He couldn't get his shoulders turned upfield. A great concentration to get the ball, get your feet inbounds, and gain 3 yards to bring up a 2nd and 7. And that can definitely keep this Charleston Predator defense guessing here because they have so many weapons, as you saw Mike St. Green being one of them.
4-3 look out of Charleston. 2 receivers top the screen. Here's Christensen to throw. Floats on a corner route, and it is caught. 1-on-1, and Grayson Willis climbs the ladder and hauls it down.
Grayson Willis, the 6'4", 218-pound vet of 5 seasons, goes up to get it. You see right there, beautiful concentration on that ball. Look at that, eyes right on the football. And a great tackle by Corey Menner because there was nobody behind Corey to stop him. But great concentration, great pitch and catch, and another 1st down for the Jacksonville offense.
Corey Menner, the Week 4 rookie signing. Here is the 1st down play. Going to dump off underneath. Jack Wall on a little bit of a hitch route, able to pick up 3. They've involved him more here later in the season, Gerald, which is not something we typically see out of a Jacksonville offense, is getting the tight end involved.
Oh, that's definitely not. I mean, you have Ken Gossett, you have Grayson Willis, you have Jared Willis coming out of the backfield. The tight end is not usually much. He only had 37 receptions coming in and only 52 targets.
Here's Christensen to throw again. Out route there is caught by Wall once more, and Wall lays on his back and just waits to be tagged down. and it'll bring up a 3rd and 4. On the other side of this break, we end the first quarter still knotted up at 0. Neither team finds their way into the end zone or through the uprights. We'll be right back. It's the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Returning here to Jacksonville, Florida. Beautiful scenes and a beautiful 3rd and 4 that both teams trying to make their way through. This is really the end of the field that Jacksonville hasn't been able to get past that 40 to 35-yard range. This pass is caught and tackled past the first down marker. Will move the chains and keep this Jacksonville drive alive.
Yes, Jeff Hollywood taking the big hit actually pushes the receiver over the line of game for a first down. A bad mistake there by Jeff Hollywood. Keep this drive going for Jacksonville.
It was Greg Mack, the fullback, who hauled it in. Not a very active player, but they get him involved there to move the sticks. Here's the handoff to Willis up the middle, and he will get out to the 32-yard line. And this second quarter rolls through, and Jacksonville is trying to be the first team to put some points on the board.
And methodically matriculating the ball down the field. It seems like they always have a 2nd and 7 or a 2nd and 5, and that's a great help to your offense.
2 receivers, top of the screen, 4-4 look here out of Charleston. They're going to dump it out to Willis off this left-hand side. Willis, with a little bit of room, will make it 3rd and 1 before being dragged down at his own 26.
And they're definitely in the range now for Anthony Automatic CC, the second season player coming over from Chicago. You see right there, Anthony CC is 28 of 28. Hasn't missed in his career and is the second highest in field goal percentage. He's 100%, but he has second most field goals, 28 coming in next to Kramer Jackman.
The acquisition from Chicago in the offseason, second-year kicker, makes 59 out of 59 so far, trying to make it 60 out of 60. But before we have a field goal attempt, Jared Willis says, hold on, offense still at work over here.
Beautiful run there, right up the gut, as you can see. You see number 70 there, A.G. Pennypacker, again with a great block along with Dave Barr. Ricky Thornton just not only protecting Christensen, but opening up gaping holes for Jared Willis here in the early going.
4 receivers wide here on first and 10 from the 15. Christensen fires back of the end zone, caught. The scoring train is arriving here in Jacksonville, a little late to the station, but Grayson Willis puts 6 on the board for the Kings.
Grayson Willis with the second touchdown of the season. Basically, it was a nice little corner route, and Christensen threw that ball perfectly right into the hands of Grayson Willis, who got behind the defense, and it's an early lead for this Jacksonville Kings offense.
That catch puts the Kings in front, the 7-win team that already has a ticket to the playoff. The question is just which seat will they be sitting in on the train. They have to figure out, after this weekend where exactly they land. A little bit of a low snap on the extra point, but it's up and good. But the 7-win team has a 7-point lead at home. We'll see if they can hold on to it when we come back. Simulation Football League action on 11 Sports and For the Fans continues. We welcome you back to Jacksonville, Florida, the site of today's Week 12 Simulation Football League action, the final week of the SFL's regular season. We head to the SFL playoffs starting very soon as a league, and the Jacksonville Kings will be heading there as well. They can potentially get all the way up to the number 4 seed. What they need to do is win today here versus Charleston and get a win from Arizona. That would mean the 4 seed. Any other situation means that they're in the 6th seed and will have to play on wild card week. Charleston, on the other hand, it's become rather simple. We'll get to that a little bit later. Their offense back out here on the field with 8:56 to go in the second. Swearingen demolished on the right-hand side. Forget about it.
Michael Spruce there with the tackle. A big hit. Bring up a second 11. As you see the playoff scenarios for Charleston, it's basically simple. Win and you're in.
The Predators finding out that they just need a win here today on the road in Florida in order to get to the playoffs and join the tournament. Swearingen up the middle will bring up 3rd and 8 for the Predators.
Big Hunter Norwood there with the tackle. These defensive tackles have amazing ability to tackle people behind the line of scrimmage. Defensive line comes up with 35 tackles for loss. Have Taquan Hale with 19 and Hunter Norwood with 20.
Here is the throw, and it is caught, but short of the sticks. The route not even ran to the first down marker, and that will be 4th down. Ken McCarro makes the grab.
Makes the grab, but they need to get past the sticks there. That ball was almost picked off. It's a dangerous pass. Really a dangerous pass for not much gain there. Need to really look at that and try to save themselves maybe of a pick 6 to that point.
Charleston, one of the better defenses in the SFL. 3rd in the league, only giving up 21.3 points per game. Jacksonville gives up 26 a game, but so far they've held the Charleston Predators to nothing. Charleston holding Jacksonville to 7. That's a third of what they usually give up. And Gerald, as these playoffs get closer and closer, these teams ramp up the intensity.
Oh, definitely. They're right now. I think they're just feeling themselves out here like a couple of boxers in the early round here, not wanting to make the big mistake here. I think later on in the game, you're going to see one of these two teams trying to land the bomb to put this game away.
Give Willis, and he will fall forward for 6. That was a very strong run from Grayson Willis, who looked like he was going down behind the line.
It looked like he was going down there, but just buried his shoulder down there, gained 6 yards, and that's an interesting stat that we showed up. Now, Charleston is third points allowed, but yet have a 5-6 record. Shows how eyes can really turn there with one or two different play outcomes in a game.
The receiver's off. Here is the give to Jared Willis again, and he will fall forward for a couple more. Another third down. These teams, Gerald, they feel like they're just living off of third down, and it seems like a very tense situation.
Yeah, but right now Jacksonville is 4 for 5 on third down. They're living the high life right now compared to 1 and 4 for Charleston.
Here is the third down play. Offsides will give them the first down no matter what happens here. Willis is not going to get there, but a offsides will move the chains for Jacksonville.
I think big number 71 there makes the mistake, and another costly mistake here. Another costly penalty for Charleston. First one pinned them back, and this one's going to give Jacksonville a fresh set of downs here. Can't make these mistakes if you want to try to get in the playoffs. You got to clean a couple of these mistakes up here, or they might be on the outside looking into the tournament.
Will hammer the offender, and you speak about the tournament there, Gerald. Sometimes it's all about just making it, and then you never know what might happen. The SFL has seen some crazy stuff over the past couple seasons in the playoffs. I remember Seattle taking out the Florida Storm in an incredible walk-off game. So sometimes it's all about just making the dance and then figuring it out once you get there.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you want to win a championship, you got to make the dance first. They don't hand out invitations. You have to earn them.
You have to earn them or know someone who will help get you there, that being the wonderful coaches in the SFL who have gotten their teams where they need to go. That one not going to go to Ken Gossett. It's incomplete. Throw was offline. Might have been a little bit of an interference. Gerald, what did you see?
I thought that Gossett was interfered with there a little bit. I don't think the ball was a real catchable football. The ball was thrown behind him. Let's see now what happens here on another third down. But this time, instead of 2 or 3, it's 11.
Third down and a country mile here at midfield. Christensen stands in the shotgun against a 3-2 defense. They're sending a late blitzer. Christensen has to unload underneath the wall, and he is not going to get there. This Charleston defense rallies home and makes the play.
Again, I'm not understanding if you have to get a first down, at least part way, majority of the way to the sticks. And on these defenses, especially Charleston, you can't expect to catch the ball for 5 and run for 6. Maybe 9 for 2. Now they're going to get pinned deep again off the good punt.
Punt is away. It'll be angled towards this near sideline. Decent hang time. Going to bounce. Bounce here at the 4 and be down beautifully by Jacksonville's special teams unit. They are going to pin the Predators back. And on the other side of the break, Charleston takes over at their own 4-yard line. The Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans returns.
Game.
Good game. This pin back could really be interesting.
Yeah. That's with the touches per touchdown. Yep.
Back here in Jacksonville, 1st and 10 for Charleston. They take over from the 4-yard line as Jacksonville's team pins them deep. Here is the give. Oh, Keith Swearingen, the cheetah, has a first down to the 16 and ignites this offense. That one was special.
What a run there by Keith Swearingen, as you see. What a great block there by number 62, but they got Fred Dukes and Butch Menor opening up holes. I'll tell you what, that's what they needed. They needed a quick first down, get out of the shadow of their own end zone, maybe give themselves a little bit of breathing space here. Now let's see if this this Charleston offense can get going.
2 receivers wide, 2 tight ends here for TD Drew. Going to dump it off to Swearingen. He spins and we'll get out to the 18. And I see Suddy's Garage in the chat. I think that's a new name. So hello and welcome to the Simulation Football League. You can chat with owners, coaches, and players in the FTF Next Twitch chat at twitch.tv/FTF Next. You can meet players you're watching on the screen right now, get involved, witness the passion of the community, and follow along with the action among the most dedicated SFL players, coaches, and owners. That is the FTF Next Twitch chat at twitch.tv/FTF Next. Swearingen forward for a couple. It'll bring up 3rd down again.
Another big tackle there by Alex Bond. 10 tackles so far. Oh, it's already 10 tackles last week against Fort Worth. Being tackled on the team at 97.
Well, they'll need to get past the 25 here for first down yardage. Play action. Out route is caught short of the sticks again. Ken Maccaro has ran 2 routes now right in front of their own bench, short of the sticks.
5-season vet, you need to get past the sticks. That's just lack of concentration on the part of Ken Maccaro. If you're on the first down, you gotta get past the sticks because he was wide open. All needed was another step or two, and the drive would be continuing. But now they're gonna have to punt.
So Charleston has to punt, and back and forth we go. Jacksonville almost gets there and makes a huge play to flip momentum. Here is the return from St. Green out to the 42, and that will set up the Kings.
Kings here with Christensen and Willis coming up. Willis is having a fantastic season so far.
Yes.
1,246 yards coming into this game. As you see right here, 18.8 times he touches the football. He gets a touchdown, which is absolutely remarkable for a running back. You saw he was 5th on the list. You have some pretty big names there. You had T-Roy Gaines, Aaron McChesney, who had 5 touchdowns earlier today. Redford, who had a score. So that's definitely one of the key stats if you're a running back that you want to be in the top 5 or top 10 in, because that can truly help your team move the football and be very, very successful in the win-loss column.
Well, if there's one thing this Jacksonville team likes, it's data, and data like that is pushing this league forward each time, and Jared Willis tries to push his team forward. They get out to the 48, a 3rd down in front of them again. I feel like, Jared, I've said that 500 times so far, and we're only into the 2nd quarter.
Well, you might be exaggerating just a little bit. It might only be like 60 or 65, but yeah, it's a 3rd and 1 here. You have the whole playbook. I'd like to see a swing here to Willis here, get a first down, maybe get some yards here.
Right up the middle to Willis. He plows through one and then takes some hit and some pain of his own coming back the other way from the Predators. Their pads are hitting here in Jacksonville. 7-0 Kings on top. This Jared Willis run takes us to the break. It's the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. 2 minutes to go here in Jacksonville, Florida. The Kings with a 7-0 lead over these visiting Charleston Predators. One of the many I-95 rivalries, that highway involving quite a few teams, including the Carolina Skyhawks, these Jacksonville Kings, and a couple more. Christensen on 1st and 10 will take the shotgun snap. Gonna fire deep down the middle of the field. Tipped up and incomplete. One of the first real shots from Christensen down the field, and Lay was ready for that one.
Rookie coming up huge there with the pass deflection. As they were going to Ken Gossett. Came in to this game leading the team in catches with 87. That was only Christensen's second incompletion of the half.
Two backs in the backfield, two receivers bottom of the screen against a 4-3 look out of Charleston. Here is Christensen, moves in the pocket and delivers out of the backfield to Willis, who won't go far. It'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
Already there with the great coverage there on Mack, who's been an unheralded game person so far, now out of the backfield. This Jacksonville Kings offense, they're giving Harry Willis a rest here, but let's see what they do here on the 3rd and 9. They're 6 of 8 so far on third down conversions in the game.
Gun straight, 4 receivers wide for Christensen in the shotgun. Looking to sling it, fires on a corner route, and it's picked off! Taken away by the Charleston Predators! Corey Menner flips the field and gives Charleston the ball back.
Perfectly read there by Corey Menner. That ball might have thrown behind the intended receiver. Might have thought he was going out, but receiver turned in. I believe that was Ken Gossett that was trying to hit. But a big turnover for the rookie, his second interception of his career, and it gets Charleston the ball back.
Give up the middle. Swearingen only good for a yard, but this Charleston team, Gerald, you know they like to take the ball away. You can't test them too much. Christensen threw deep twice on that last drive.
Yeah, and one fell incomplete and the other fell into the hands of Charleston. So they might be rethinking that play here, but right now it's all about Charleston's offense to see if they can get themselves back in this game before the half.
They do have 3 timeouts. Here is Drew. Drew going to check it down and not going to get very far as Swearingen, and they might just try and run this clock out and take it to the half, only down by a score.
Yeah, that was definitely coverage there. They dropped 7, I believe, or if not 8. There was nothing down the field. TD Drew to throw to, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation. They're 6. They've only converted on 1 of the previous 5.
Here is Drew going to try and throw. Finds the slant route right at the sticks. That's a beautiful first down catch by Jay Taylor.
I don't understand why Charleston aren't using their timeouts here. You have 11 seconds.
Give up the middle. Swearingen only falls forward for 5, and it looks like they wanted the first down to get out of the break. Now we'll take a timeout and maybe have one last desperation heave to the end zone.
They wasted about 10 to 12 seconds there by not calling their timeouts right away. I think the coach is giving Edie Drew an earful there. Why aren't you calling the timeouts or spiking the football? But 3 seconds to go, 62 yards away from pay dirt. So you either got to get it in the end zone or hope for a defensive pass interference penalty, keep this half going, or we're going to go in halftime 7-0 in Jacksonville.
2 receivers split out here for the final play. They will give to Swearingen off this right-hand side. He won't get very far, and it is a 7-0 ball game at the halftime break. Gerald, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really expect this low scoring of a game. I didn't expect either team to really go off to start the game, but both teams playing it very safe here early in this one.
Both teams definitely playing it safe. You'll see the halftime stats coming up here. It's pretty much even. You see Jacksonville slightly ahead on the passing. Rushing yards goes to Charleston. On possession going to Jacksonville, but look at the 3rd down percentage.
Yeah.
Big time difference, 75%. And that's right now being the downfall for Charleston. They're not able to continue to have drives. They're 2 for 6 on 3rd downs, only 5 first downs in the first half. But Charleston has to really open up the offense for against Jacksonville's defense. TD Drew 8 for 10 for 52 yards. Keith Swearengin 55 yards on 14 carries. You got Willis with Jacksonville 11 carries for 43 yards. Grayson Willis 4 catches on 4 targets, 48 yards, and that 18-yard and that touchdown pass in the back corner. Both defenses are playing fantastic. Trey Jones with 5 tackles for Jacksonville, and we have Jack Brown hitting the tackles over there for Charleston with 7.
Both teams, Gerald, really taking care of the football other than that Corey Menor interception. That and the third down percentage, I think the biggest two factors in this football game. The Menor interception doesn't turn into any points, but instead taking some away potentially from Jacksonville. The Kings' third down percentage helping them to this 7-point lead, and I have a feeling we're going to see these teams open it up if we're still at 7-0 at the end of the third. Jacksonville will start with the football to open this third quarter. Mike St. Green brings it out, and Christensen, Gerald, we didn't talk too much about it, but silently having an incredible game. 15 of 18, 101 yards, that 1 interception, the lone blemish to go along with 1 touchdown. He has 5.6 yards per attempt. Here is Jared Willis. His 12th carry of the day is only good for 3 feet. And again, if you're just tuning in, these Charleston Predators wearing white with the black helmets, if they win, they're into these SFL playoffs, which get incredibly more exciting every single season. If they do get in, they have a 25% chance at the number 9 seed, 50% at number 10, 25% at 11. A loss would take them away from the playoffs. Their season on the line today. Flip out to Jared Willis. He will pick up 5 more, and it will set up 3rd and 4. Lay on another tackle.
Tackle for Lay, his 5th, and like you said, and if you're the Charleston Predators, that's what you want. You want to be able to control your own destiny. Not have to wait for other people. If you win and you're in, the stakes cannot be higher for Charleston right now.
2 in the backfield here for Jacksonville. They're going to throw. Out route here is caught underneath, and the Ken Gossett will take it out to the 34-yard line with 9:54 to go in the first. This Jacksonville team converting another 3rd down.
And as you saw there, Gossett just gets past the sticks for the first down, and that's what you have to do if you're going to throw those short little passes. Get past the sticks, give your quarterback a nice window to throw the football, and that's what happened there. The first down comes up for the Jacksonville Kings.
A beautiful one-hand catch there made by Willis, Grayson Willis that is, out to the 48-yard line. What a beautiful catch. Walk us through it, Gerald.
I can't believe he caught that football. You see right across center of the field, just out of the reach of Jack Hoffman. And he just reaches out and just plucks it in with one hand. Unbelievable catch there by Grayson Willis for a first down. And that was almost a great play by Charleston. Better play by Jacksonville.
Split backs in the backfield here on 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. Jared Willis opening up this defense a little bit. I was going to say, Gerald, if you are a fan of the Baltimore Ravens in the 2000s or the Jacksonville team from a few seasons ago and defense is your favorite, this might be the game for you.
Oh, definitely. If you like any kind of defensive, just pound the football type of old school, I call old school NFC, just pounding the ball, great defense. This is your type of game.
Speaking of pounding, they pounded Willis in the backfield there. Not going to get to the line of scrimmage even. That is Hammer making up for his offsides earlier, and it'll bring up 3rd and 2. And the story for Charleston has been they've gotten Jacksonville to a ton of 3rd downs, just have not been able to get off the field. We'll see here if they can do so at their own 45. 4-3 look out of the Predators defense. Here's the give up the middle. Willis got the first down.
Great push there by the offensive line. Get Willis that first down. They almost got caught in the backfield, but that surge, those 300-pound offensive linemen with Barr, Thornton, and Pennypacker just making holes for Willis to go through. And I'll tell you what, they will have problems if they can't stop Willis.
Here is the throw across the middle, tipped up and incomplete. And Jack Brown almost tipped it to his other defensive back who would have been able to take it away. And Charleston looked dangerous there.
Jack Brown again coming up with a great game with a pass deflection there. 11 tackles the last game. Him and Jack Hoffman are just amazing linebackers. There are 23 tackles combined last week.
Give up the middle. Willis cut down, and it'll be 3rd and 10 outside of field goal range, and that would be big, Gerald. A one-score game currently. A field goal would make it 2.
I mean, started coming up with the tackle. Like you said, they came up here. They're 8 for 11 on 3rd downs right now. Like you said, they usually get them to here, but it's usually been a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. Now 3rd and 10 right now. Looks good for this Charleston defense to get off the field.
4 wide. Here is going to be the throw. Christensen tipped up and picked off. Take it away. The Predators erase the drive from Jacksonville. Jack Hoffman with the interception.
Jack Hoffman on the tip drill. You saw just out of the hands of Johnny Bravo. But comes into the hands of Jack Hoffman, and that's the big turnover that Charleston needed. Now, can they ride the wave of this momentum shift here and get points on the board?
Second interception of the day for this Charleston defense. Gibbs Swearingen off the right tackle, and Swearingen dragged down from behind. Rain Rowe brought him down, and this Jacksonville defense hasn't seen the field nearly as much as the Charleston defense. This is their first time out here in the second half.
As you see, 6:45 and change to go. The big time-consuming drive for Jacksonville, but it ended up with no points. Let's see what Charleston can do on this drive here.
Here's the give. Swearingen takes it off right tackle again, and they are immediately facing their own 3rd down.
A 3rd and 4 coming up here. I think if I was Charleston, I would run a little bit more play action, open up the middle of the field so you can get Lyric Da Vinci or Jay Taylor in there across the middle. Now, if you're Charleston, you got to get past the sticks if you're a receiver. Get past the sticks.
From the 35, here's Swearingen, and no, not going to get there. 3 runs in a row, and Charleston has to punt.
Big stop here for this Jacksonville defense, just not letting Charleston do anything on 3rd down. Now 2 for 7 for the game. And again, it's going to be on the field position battle. They're playing this game in between the 20s, which right now, if you're Jacksonville, you'll take it since you have the lead.
A little bit of a low snap. Punt is away. It is angled towards the right-hand side of the field. And Mike St. Green, a good return man, will get dragged down at the 30. Still a one-score game. Charleston's defense holding so far a 7-0 lead for Jacksonville when we return. It's the SFL on 11 Sports and for the fans. Andy Hamilton along with Gerald Giudice, Jacob Clear, and Robert Johnson running the stats for us here from Jacksonville, Florida. And Commissioner Cameron Irvine behind the scenes doing an incredible job keeping us all updated as we move closer to the playoffs. That a dangerous throw is collected by Grayson Willis, and I thought I was going to have to cut off my wonderful talk about our leader, Commissioner Cameron Irvine, for a pick six there, Gerald.
I have no idea how Zachary Bateson came down with that pick. But 2nd and 7 here for the Kings. And look, we don't have to talk about our wonderful commissioner that much, so it's okay.
He does a wonderful job keeping us all updated on where everyone needs to be. Well, Willis needs to be closer to the first down marker. And speaking of where these two teams line up, Charleston in 12th right now on the outside looking in. But again, if they get the win to 6-6, they're into the playoffs. Jacksonville currently has their playoff spot secured. They are in the number 6 seed. If they win, they could move up. If they lose, they might be stuck there on the outside of the opening round bye. Shotgun snap to Christensen. He fires. That's caught on the slant. First down yardage to Ken Gossett to the 47.
Ken Gossett with a great catch there, but an unbelievable throw by Christensen, putting it right there in the tight little windows. You see right there. Great, only rushing 3, dropping 8. But what happened there? I guess he got caught in no man's land there. Corey Minner, who has the pick, one of the picks today, late on the coverage. Gossett wide open.
Two receivers, bottom of the screen, two backs in the backfield here for Christensen. 4-3 look out of Charleston. Here is the throw, thrown underneath, caught by Willis, is good for 4.
I like the fact that Jacksonville plays first down, and it might be conservative, but it brings them closer to manageable third downs, like you see here, 2nd and 5. They're getting the 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3s. One time they had 3rd and long, it resulted in an interception.
Out route here, caught underneath, and that is Gossett. Another first down to the 42.
Back away with the tackle, but that was a great route there. As you saw, Gossett comes out with the out route. Had Grayson Willis do a little stutter step inside slant, took some of the defenders with him, and was able to get a first down. Great play call and great execution of this Jacksonville Kings offense.
Two receivers, bottom of the screen is Willis. Gossett working out of the slot. Christensen under center. Give up the middle to Jared Willis, and he will gain, they spotted him at only a yard. I think he got 2 or 3, maybe a poor spot. Jack Brown on the tackle.
Jack Brown rocking that old school 1 single bar helmet. Coming up with the tackle, as you see, look at these unit leaders for tacklers. Reese, 119. Brown, 113. The tackles for loss for Brown with 8. The pass deflections for Reese.
Give Wall up the middle, and Jack Brown is right there again.
And along with those two, you have Jack Hoffman, who was at 99 coming in. So you have 3 players on this Charleston Predator defense with 100+ tackles in the season. Now let's see, but they need another one here. Maybe those tackles for loss. The 3rd and 2 here coming up for Jacksonville.
Single back, offsides here will give him a free first down, and that is crushing here as it puts Jacksonville into field goal range.
That was, I believe, 6'3", 268-pound defensive end Jeff Hollywood across the line. It sure was. And again, another costly penalty for this Charleston Predator team here. It's a second offsides call. It's going to result in a first down. Another penalty brought them back inside their own 20 on a kickoff. So they're shooting themselves in the foot right now.
Christensen, 23 of 28, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He'll hand off to Willis. Willis up the middle for another 3. That is his 19th carry for only 56 yards, averaging around 3 yards a carry. And Gerald, even if they kick the field goal here, 10 points not insurmountable, but it feels like it with the way this game has been going.
Yeah, this game is being played between the 20s mostly. Field goal to take it to a 2-score game might be enough here for this Jacksonville team here to be up by 10.
Here's a give, Willis, and he is dragged down by Jack Brown for a loss of a yard. And that will make it 3rd and 8, a chance for Charleston to put this drive to rest.
Another 3rd and long situation. Each time they've really forced Jacksonville out of their game, one resulting in an interception here on the 3rd and 10 earlier in the game. Let's see if Jacksonville can convert this first down.
4 wide here against a 3-2 look out of the Predators. Here's Christensen to throw underneath, caught. Oh, breaking some tackles. St. Green down to the 7 with a lane.
Swain with a big reception, unheralded, as you'll see here. Watch, they ran like 3 go routes here, and then Shane just brought it right through this. What a throw! Just a perfectly designed play, perfect execution again by Christensen throwing the football. And I'll tell you, this is going to be the drive right now. If Jacksonville gets in the end zone, this could be the ball game.
Yeah, check that. That was Swain. Made a nice catch and run. Here's the give. Willis, right side. Willis through the line will pick up a couple. And from the 4, 2nd and goal will end the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters down. Jacksonville still with the football, still with a 7-point lead, knocking on the door to try and extend it. It's the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Don't go anywhere. Back here in Jacksonville, Florida, the Charleston Predators trying to hold these Jacksonville Kings out of the end zone to start this 4th quarter. 2 receivers top of the screen, 2 backs in the backfield. Willis dots the I. Christensen will throw, out route, caught! Touchdown, Ken Gossett! Touchdown, Jacksonville! The Kings extend the lead.
Big touchdown drive there for Jacksonville. Ken Gossett running the out route just right across the goal mouth there. What a turn. Looks the defender away. Beautiful play. Beautiful touchdown. And that could be a killer blow here for Charleston. 13-0. Extra point pending.
With the way this game is going, that might force these Charleston Predators to open something up on the offensive side. So far, they've kept it close to the vest, only thrown the ball 10 times. They've ran the ball 17 times for 3.6 yards per carry. Their leading receiver has 1 catch, 21 yards, Gerald. That was the one long one to Lyric Da Vinci. Longest throw other than that 21-yarder is a 10-yard completion to Jay Taylor.
As Buchanan Simon's not a target yet. Ken McCarroll, 3 catches on 4 targets, but for 11 yards. And to answer Jack Walls in the chat, they do have 100 yards. They only have 114.
They will take a knee. Well, for the Jacksonville Kings, they could get all the way up to number 4 or finish at number 6. A win and an Arizona win would put them up to number 4. A win and a Baltimore win would give them the number 6 seed. And if Charleston can pull off the comeback, they would go to number 6 in these SFL playoffs. Already have their ticket punched, but don't know when they might be playing. Swearingen. Oh my gosh, you might want to find a new pair of socks, pal.
Oh, new pair of socks, new pair of shoes, something. Clay Jones just absolutely buried him for a 1-yard gain. That's probably the toughest yard that Swearingen's gained in this game. Wow.
Two tight ends, two receivers wide, one back in the backfield is Swearingen again. They will feed him again, and he gets shouldered again.
Swearingen's like, can we pass the football, please? I'm tired of getting hit. He's taken a lot of punishment in this game. But to be honest with you, I think Charleston needs to start throwing the football here. They're down 2 scores. You can't be running the football here in the fourth quarter. You got to open it up.
This their 30th offensive play, and it is a completion down the sidelines. Buchanan Simon's first catch of the day as Drew threads the needle on the out route.
And on his first target, that was a threat, as you said. Alex Bond almost from the tackle, but it was almost picked off there by Bernard Gooden, who has been blank on the score sheet so far in this game. That was a big first down for Charleston. They need to start opening up. If you're going to do that, use Swearingen as a decoy, but you got to get the ball north-south as quick as you can.
Two receivers, bottom of the formation again. Swearingen ran again up the middle, 4-3. Like I said, Gerald, they've called now 30 play. That was their 31st play. 20 of 31 plays have been runs to Swearingen.
I get that you want to be conservative and not make the mistake. Right now, you have no time to be conservative. You got to get the football down the field, and you got to score a touchdown on this drive.
Give Swearingen another 2 yards, and the time just continues to eke off the clock. And Gerald, you almost make the argument that if Charleston would have taken the lead at any point in this game, their game plan would be perfect.
Oh, definitely, because they're running the clock and eating time away. But that's only good if you have the lead, not when you're down by 2 scores.
Two receivers top here. Gun ace trips. Look, TD Drew in the gun. He's going to throw it. Drew fires across the middle. Caught for a first down. Simons again coming alive here in this fourth quarter.
That's what they need. I'd love to see them go to the hurry up right now. Catch Jacksonville off guard here, but they're going back to the huddle. That's what they need to do. They need to exploit the middle of the field. There's plenty of time left to exploit the middle of the field in this secondary. You have to start throwing the football down the field. You can't go for these 2-yard runs.
Another throw here. Another catch for Buchanan. Simons on the slant. Out to the 27. They have not got him involved today, but when they did, he has started to move the ball down the field.
3 catches on this drive alone. You see a nice little slant route there. Alex Bond tried to jump the route thinking he was going outside, came inside, and that left a lot of room to run here. And Simon's 44 yards on those last 3 catches, and they are driving down. They are threatening.
Nickel look here out of Jacksonville. Charleston now down to their 27-yard line. Here's the give, Swearingen, and right there to make the tackle is Clay Jones. Has had his number all night.
Another stop, but Swearingen some more tough yards. You see 71 and 22 carries here, but it brings up a second and manageable here, a 2nd and 6. They had a couple third down conversions on this drive. They were struggling with that area coming into the fourth quarter.
Empty set. Here's the throw. Drew going to take a shot. Caught. Touchdown, Charleston. They strike just what was needed. The doctor ordered Ken Maccaro, and he delivers for 6.
TD Drew, as you see, the defender letting him go, thinking he had help over the top. Saka Lamana was way late getting there, and that was just an easy pitch and catch. Little one-handed catch there by Ken Maccaro, making up for those 2 silly mistakes of not running past the first down marker. But we now have a ball game, Andy.
Yeah, beautiful throw, just what they needed in order to open that one up. And Ken Maccaro was about as open as it gets, and he's in the chat telling the SFL community and anyone who's willing to listen how much they needed that one. 7 points for the Predators, cuts this lead back down to a single score. It's the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports, and for the fans, don't go anywhere. We got a nail-biter. Back here in Jacksonville, Florida. 14 points for the Kings, but Charleston cuts that lead in half with a Ken Maccaro touchdown catch, and now they kick it back to Jacksonville. St. Green will return this one out to the 23. Well, Gerald, we got news during the break for the Atlanta Swarm. You know, in Georgia, just over across the border from Florida, if Charleston were to win, the Atlanta Swarm would be out of the playoffs. If the Jacksonville Kings are to win this football game, Atlanta's chances go up to 75%. So for the champions from season 14, heavy implications on how this last 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter for Charleston, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Jared Willis trying to put him to bed right here, down the right side. Jared Willis to the 43 with a strong run.
I think Jared Willis just touched every Charleston Predator defender on that run. Are you kidding me, Jared Willis? Just stopped at the line. There. Big tackles there. Hurdles another guy. Breaks another tackle. Comes down the field. Breaks another tackle. And finally brought down. I'll tell you, this has been a great run and a great game for Jared Willis. Let's see if Jacksonville can answer Charleston's touchdown.
Got out to the 43, which is not yet in field goal range, so Charleston still trying to finish this one off. That throw is caught only for 2 yards. Jack Wall brings in the reception, but is not able to turn up field. As we look at the quarterback comparison, fairly close numbers. The 2 interceptions, the biggest threat.
Yeah, the biggest threat right now for Charleston is this Jacksonville offense. I was going to say, Charleston needs their defense to show up. He had a big run against them. Now can they shore it up and stop him from getting any more yards?
Here's Christensen, pressure coming, avoids one, gets rid of it, it's caught, and turning upfield, he'll be a yard short of the sticks. Grayson Willis with a nice catch on the sideline. That play almost would have been huge for Charleston. It turns out it's huge for Jacksonville.
Christensen doing his best Graham Tarkenton and Roger Staubach impression. They're getting out of the way of a sure sack, bring up a 3rd and 1. See what happens here on this play for Charleston's defense.
2 receivers split out, bottom of the screen. Christensen looking to throw it. Flyers on a corner route. Picked! Taken away by the Predators! Oh my, the interception is made there by Josh Reese.
That, I think, was a complete mistake in play calling there. If 3rd and 1, you had Jared Willis, who basically ran through the entire Charleston defense in the first play of this drive. 3rd and 1, you should have put the ball in his hands. Instead, you give the ball back to Charleston. Momentum is wearing a white jersey with black numbers right now. Let's see if they can continue the momentum.
The Atlanta Swarm wait with bated breath. Here is TD Drew on a 7-step drop. Fires underneath, tipped up, still in the air, and it falls incomplete.
I thought Swearingen had that. Another big play here by the inside linebacker, flexing first, the rookie, the 31st overall pick, Clay Jones. 10 tackles, now his 2nd pass deflection, having a great game. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they draw up here on 2nd and 10. You got to start throwing it. Look for Buchanan Simons again if you want to get down the field.
Single back offset to the left. Drew going to give it to Swearingen right up the middle, and he will make it 3rd and 6 after that run. Clock under 5.5 minutes to go. You got to start taking notice of that, Gerald.
Definitely. You want to, at least if you're not going to get the first down, or if you're stopped on not getting the first down, you want to get as much time on that clock as possible so you can get the ball back and hopefully do a tie ball game.
Drew, deep drop. Drew fires on the corner route. Tipped up and incomplete. Was trying to find Maccaro, and Succo Lamano in coverage. Batted it away.
Succo Lamano making up for the last drive. He was late coming across, which had Maccaro get the touchdown. Big stop here for the Jacksonville Kings defense. Basically overcoming the 3 turnovers. Christensen.
Charleston will come on to punt this one away. The punter for the Predators is Wally Saddle. Saddle will kick it with 5 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Mike St. Green, dangerous return man, spins out of one and will go down at the 29. When we return, the 7-point difference is on the line. Don't go anywhere. Playoff football on the way. Simulation Football League action continues on 11 Sports and for the fans. Welcome back. Simulation Football League Week 12 action. 7 points separate these Jacksonville Kings at 7-4 and the 5-6 Charleston Predators. Charleston trying to find their way into the playoffs and keep their hopes alive with a win. Here is the flip. Jack Brown on the tackle, but Jack Wall has the first down catch.
Jack Wall, big first down there for this Jacksonville Kings offense. As you saw from the previous the punt return, you see Mike Green is one of only 2 people in this SFL season with a punt return and the kick return for a touchdown. I bet you can't guess who the other person is.
I can because I know, but the fans at home will not be able to guess, although we'll see if anyone in the chat can get it. Handoff up the middle. Willis. Ooh, clobbered at the 46, but not before picking up 7.
You see Jared Willis there, 105 yards so far on the day. Big defensive stand here for Charleston.
Single back in the backfield on 2nd and 3, 4-3 look out of the Charleston defense. Here is the give up the middle, and Willis has the first down yardage. And for any of you sitting at home who might be saying, wow, this game is awesome, I like watching these players compete against one another, you can get your player position locked and loaded today through our Discord server in the SFL Minor League, SFLM. There are more opportunities than ever to be the player you've always wanted to be. Join our Discord community through www.simulationfl.net or simulation.football in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. The second season of the minor league starts Friday, October 9th. Our Deputy Commissioner, Andrew Rostelli, on Discord has more information if you need it. 1st and 10 from midfield. Here is the give right up the middle. Willis, 8 yards to the Charleston 42. He's trying to put this thing away.
Yeah, he's trying to put this game on ice, putting the team on his shoulders. And a shout out in the room to Jack Wall, SFL, Andre Brim, and Camp Commandant. You are absolutely correct. It's Gabriel Manning, who has 2 punt returns for touchdowns. and one kickoff return for a touchdown.
4-3 look out of Charleston here late in this game, trying to get a stop. 2nd and 2, handoff is to Willis. He cuts through the middle, has the first down, yardage to the 35, and is at very least 5 yards away from field goal range.
And I don't think Jacksonville has to take another snap. They don't. To the 2-minute warning, if you're Charleston, you're going to start to need to maybe do a run blitz here and just sell out to the run here, because they are driving and wearing down this clock.
Two receivers top of the screen. Running back is offset to the right, but not before the 2-minute warning. Charleston has all 3 timeouts, and when we return, these two teams finish it off, and one of them will get the win. It's the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. We'll be right back. Back here in Jacksonville on the north side of the 2-minute warning, these Jacksonville Kings very, very close, if not already in field goal range, trying to finish this one off. Handoff Willis up the middle. Jared Willis will pick up a couple to the 33. Charleston will use their timeout. And if Jacksonville were to win, they could get up to 4 or 6. But, Gerald, they also would help the other team in Florida, the Florida Storm. A win today for Jacksonville puts the Florida Storm in the SFL playoffs.
It definitely talked about being a good neighbor. I think I said Jacksonville could be more a State Farm here for the Florida Storm.
Jack Brown and company trying to make sure that doesn't happen with the tackle there at the 32, and a quick timeout will bring up 3rd and 7.
What a game Jack Brown is having. 19 tackles. You heard that right, folks. 19 tackles to go with 2 tackles for a loss. You're going to have to sell out here. If you're Jacksonville, I don't know if you put this ball in the air.
2 receivers split out, 2 backs in the backfield, and a tight end on the line against a 4-3-4 Charleston. This is the play of the game. Handoff here to Willis. Willis going backwards will lose a few. Back to the 32, and from here, it would be a 48, 49-yarder.
Let's see, if you want to be automatic, Anthony Cece, for your career, this might be one of your biggest attempts of your career right now. Probably from 49 yards out. This will put it to a 2-score game and really put the hurting on Charleston's chances of winning on this football game.
Curtis Young is set to hold it. He puts the hold down. Cece puts the foot to it, and Anthony Cece from 49 is good and extends the lead to 10.
Big field goal here. That's right down Broadway. I don't know why he was leaning. That was about as dead center as you could possibly get. And now Charleston is up against it. You're down 10, $1:45 left, and no timeouts. It's time to stop running the football. You need to start throwing it deep downfield.
Season on the line. The Charleston Predators will get the ball back with 1:45 to go and no timeouts. Maccaro will return it out to the 22, and that is where TD Drew and this offense comes back out. Had a great last drive. We'll see what happens here. You need to throw the football. You got to see
Buchanan Simons, who had a great run of catches earlier in this quarter. You need to find him again.
TD Drew in the shotgun, 2 receivers wide with a third one stretched out across the line. 4 down linemen for Jacksonville. Pressure coming. Drew goes down. A sack for Hunter Norwood.
Big sack for Hunter Norwood there.
2nd and 15. Drew steps up, hit as he threw, and it's incomplete. Mike All coming through. We haven't heard from this defensive line of the Kings, but now they're showing out.
And Hunter Norwood came in with his first sack of the game, his 16th and a half of the season. Had 2 sacks last week. Makes a big impact here. 3rd and 15. Do or die now for the Charleston Predators.
2 receivers wide, bump on the outside. Drew gonna throw, fires across the middle, caught. Buchanan Simons, a statement catch at the 38.
That's what I said. You need to find him. He's been your playmaker here in this 4th quarter. You need to start finding him.
Check down here. Swearingen getting upfield, will only get back to the line of scrimmage.
And for the check downs, you might want to just throw that ball away, save some time on the clock.
Now down under a minute. Drew gonna fire this one deep across the middle. It almost picked off. Clay Jones really would have put an exclamation point on this victory for the Kings. Instead, it falls incomplete.
His 3rd pass deflection of the game, go along with 10 tackles. That could have really sealed the deal, but it gives Charleston an opportunity to catch their breath, have to really run up the field here. This 3rd and 9.
And it brings up 4th and 9.
Yeah, trying to hit Macaro there. Lamano said, no, can do. Bringing up a 4th and 9. I think you're going to have to put him, right now you're going to have to put TD Drew in the shotgun position. I think you need to look at your big play guys, Buchanan Simons or Swearingen, but an offside here, free play.
Fired, tipped up, caught. Oh, Da Vinci down the sideline. Will get out of bounds with 43 seconds. A huge play from Charleston to keep this season alive for the time being.
And there's a penalty with a Jacksonville defender jumping off sides. I can't remember if it was Mike All or Taquan Hale. It was Taquan Hale with the neutral zone infraction. Even if they would have got tackled in bounds, the clock would have stopped on that penalty. Right now, if you're Charleston, you still have the playbook wide open here. You get like another 10, 12 yards, block the ball, kick the field goal to get within 7, to hope for an onside kick. It's going to be an onside kick either way, but you need to get, I think, the field goal first before anything.
They're at the 32, could attempt a field goal from here if they wanted. 1st and 10, 2 receivers split out, 2 in the backfield. Drew, short drop, out route is caught by Macaro and out of bounds, a 6-yard pickup.
I think the field, like you said, they could have tried it then. I think they should try it now. It would be a 42, 43-yard field goal for Amanda Moyer. She definitely has the leg. So you might want to just do that right now, give herself a chance, but it looks like they're going to run a play.
Atlanta and Florida holding on and watching to see if their playoff hopes will be realized with a Jacksonville win here. 2 receivers out here. Drew fires to a tight end, caught. Jay Taylor, 1st down to the 19.
That play needed to be run closer to the sidelines here. 30 seconds to go and counting. They spike it here.
And with 27 seconds to go here in the 4th, Drew not happy. Down to the 19, though, and they could attempt a field goal, but it's almost not worth it if you don't have a touchdown on the board.
Yeah, but you need the field goal either way. And you're in field goal range right now. You won't be with an onside kick, so I think it's a mistake.
2 receivers down to the bottom of the screen. Here is Drew going to throw. Fires short underneath, and he catches his own pass. Oh, should not have done that.
Hey, you smack that ball down on the ground here. You should have clocked it.
Drew fires, caught, first down yardage to Maccaro, and that will almost ascend. They might get one more snap off, but that is going to give the Jacksonville Kings the win. They spike it with a second left. No time for two scores. The Kings have won. Atlanta is going to the playoffs, and the Storm are too.
This is why I said you needed to kick that field goal before you didn't have time to do anything else. Because even if you scored the touchdown, with 10 seconds to go, you'd have to score another touchdown. So I think that was bad play calling there on the part of Charleston.
Drew fires out to Swearingen, and he will get tackled inbounds to end the game. Florida is going to the playoffs. Atlanta's hopes are still alive, sitting around 75%. The Swarm definitely needed Charleston not to win this game. That happened. Charleston's season will end there as Jacksonville eliminates them from contention with a 10-point victory here in Florida.
Yeah, I think Charleston just got themselves right out there at the end of the game. Take nothing away from this Jacksonville Kings team. Overcame 3 interceptions to win the ball game. Christensen with 2 touchdown passes, 206 yards through the air. Your leading running back, Jared Willis, with 88 yards. Leading receiver, Grayson Willis, 7 catches on 8 targets for 74 yards. Trey Jones to Jacksonville, 13 tackles, 3 pass deflections. Jack Brown, 19 tackles and 2 tackles for loss in a losing effort. I just think Charleston's offense in the first 2, maybe 2.5 quarters are basically too conservative, especially when they got down 14-0. You saw that big run there by Jared Willis. That was the key. But that field goal right there by Anthony Cece to give them that cushion where that last touchdown drive for Charleston mattered for naught. Congratulations, Jacksonville. You are maybe going as high as the 4th seed, but great win. And a tough win against a tough ball club in Charleston.
And Jacksonville still alive with their hopes of potentially getting to the number 4 seed. Your player of the game, Clay Jones, the inside linebacker with 14 tackles. I think that goes to show you how conservative both these teams played. A defensive battle, and they reward a linebacker with the player of the game. Jacksonville's playoff hopes are alive to go up to the 4 seed. Florida is in, and Atlanta has a better chance of making it. Charleston, season ends here. For Gerald Giudice, I'm Andy Hamilton. Thanks to Robert Johnson and Jacob Clear on stats, and Commissioner Cameron Irvine for producing tonight's game. The playoffs start soon. Stick with us, the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Thank you for tuning in.